I'm Alison Anthoine, and the company is called Paper Lex. It's based in Cold Spring, New York, with a small office in New York City. There are now just two of us with a developer. We started out at Startup Weekend. The company formed at Startup Weekend in New York City, November of 2009, when my remaining partner stood up in front of everybody and said his idea was to have a company that would be sort of like Creative Commons, but would have legal forms that could be uniform. And he said, I never want to read a non-disclosure agreement again as long as I live, and there's no reason why there shouldn't be one form. I want to have a company that's going to put that form up with a questionnaire that allows you to fill in the variables, and out comes the agreement with a little summary. So at the top it says X number of days or months or years and non-disclosure, done. No one should have to look anymore because this is the parameters of the agreement. We did that, built that over the weekend. We presented it.
Startup Weekend. Now, tell me about what.
Startup Weekend, I thought I would just go offer some free legal advice to businesses, not even looking for business, but just to be helpful, because I like to give back. It's that I like to empower people to say, you can do this. So I went to Startup Weekend. It was an incredible experience. Too much pizza, for someone my age, and a lot of beer. But there must have been, 100 plus people. It was held in the Microsoft offices. There were two other lawyers among the 100 plus people, and a very small handful of developers. They were, the Startup Weekends look for designers and developers. There's lots of marketing people. There are lots of people with MBAs. And the way the Startup Weekend works, the Startup Weekend works is I arrived on Friday evening, found my pizza and beer, started talking with people around me, and then people with business ideas stood up in front of the room and said them. Everyone got 2 minutes, and after that, the whole room voted on which ones they liked best. And the dozen or so that got the most votes formed teams, and off they went. And I immediately, joined forces with Michael Gruen. There were 3 others with us at the time, and we sprinted all weekend and got a prototype developed and made a presentation to a panel on Sunday evening of, entrepreneurial venture types. And we got positive feedback, but we knew we were onto something. I knew there's something here because basically for an entrepreneur, the greatest points of pain are paying legal fees, or among the greatest points of pain that I can control are paying legal fees and dealing with trafficking, routine legal contracts. So this is a long way of coming around to tell you that what Paper Lex is doing is we've built a platform for exchanging legal routine contracts. Our minimally viable product went up last week for a private beta. The first document we created for it was an NDA. Very simple, very straightforward. But the idea is that you can use forms that we will create and add to our library over time, or a company can use its own lawyer's forms. Say to its lawyer, we don't want to call you every time. Give us a form that we can use, put it on our system, authorize certain people in the company to send and edit, collect comments, collect the signatures, and then file it digitally, so that you don't have to do the scramble of finding out, did that come back? Has it been signed? Where is the file when I need it? You can just do it. And I've talked to a lot of my clients are very small businesses who have said, when are you starting? This is, you're building this for us. So I'm building it for my clients. I'm putting my own legal forms into the system, but it really is a shared vision of empowering businesses to do more of their own work.
We need people to do things when they come up with those frustrations or they come up with those great ideas.
Yeah.
Do them. Make them.
Well, I'll tell you something. We got to a certain point, we got more evolved, but we had no money. We had no money at all, and we didn't know how we were going to manage this. As it happened, my son graduated from high school in spring of 2010. We put the family apartment on the market. I was with great fanfare planning my new start as and my next act, as I call it, a middle-aged, independent woman with an empty nest, and I moved from New York City to Cold Spring, New York, where I live on New Street for my new start, nice. And I've taken a substantial amount of my share of the proceeds of the sale of the family apartment and sunk it into this company, because that's the only way it's going to get started. It was an idea, and I believe so much in it that I've put, a lot of resources that I probably shouldn't be doing if I were really a risk-averse person. But I believe so strongly in this, and whether or not it will evolve. It's not even a question of how it will. It will evolve in some way. It will succeed, because this is my next act. This is my thing. I've been waiting basically my entire career to build something that was important. This is the important thing.
The glorified, movie-fied version of the entrepreneur, the kid in the basement, the kid in the garage, happens. But in reality, more entrepreneurs than ever are older, and some of them is their second or third act, as you say. Right. Some of them are it's that semi-retired, or they've earned their way out of one career, and now they're living longer, they're living healthier, they have as much energy or more so, and so they're anxious to do something else. So I guess I'm asking you to be that representative and speak to that, speak to that person like you who is still searching for some fulfillment in their life and thinking, maybe never thought of themselves as an entrepreneur. Now, you've had that luxury. I mean, that's kind of been your outlook through life, but speak to that person.
It helps to find a right partner, to find the person to go into it with you. But I had a number of ideas that never went anywhere. I had another idea for something like Paper Lex, but for patient advocacy. But I didn't know about the medical infrastructure. I was a stranger. It was too opaque. It would have taken me too much of a learning curve. So when I met Michael Gruen at Startup Weekend, and he said, "We're going to do this for people who use legal services," I said, "I know that." So it's a question of opportunity, but seize that opportunity. I mean, I'm a big seize the day person at this point, and I seized it. That was it. I'm grateful to Startup Weekend for this new start for me, and I'm grateful to the opportunities I've had that have given me this chance to sort of coalesce everything, and the good fortune of running into Michael Gruen, who we just came together, and here we are, a generation apart. I've never met his parents. I'm probably older than his parents, and so be it. It's this great odd couple relationship.
So finally, when you think of how far you've come and where your dreams have taken you, what's on your mind now?
Oh my! Well, a vacation would be nice, but I think that's probably a year off. What's on my mind now is how to get the business to a point that it becomes self-sustaining, and that will require bringing some more white label clients in, so that we can get. We've already proved the concept with our first client. We can get some traction and become more attractive to either investors or ideally lenders. I'm a bootstrapper by nature. I'm not interested in taking money for the sake of taking money. And I've been burned by VCs in the past, and I'm not interested in risking that again. So I'm that way. I'd rather spend my own money and risk that than risk getting into bed with the wrong VC or the wrong investor. So that it's really the growth of the company now I'm still keeping my day job. My partner is working full-time. He's drawing a little bit of income from the business. I'm paying him so that he will devote his full attention to this, but I still have to do this on a moonlighting basis because I can't give up the day job. And I would love to give up my day job. That's the dream, is to give up the day job and work for this full-time, because I really have the passion, and I'm the sort of the chief evangelist for the business once we get it up and rolling. And that's the big thing. So there we are.
Well, you got me believing.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt.